Alright guys, we are at Orlando International Airport and we're headed to Mexico City. Let's go! I'm so excited! Traveling to Mexico in 2022 is actually one of the easier places to get to right now. So I'm traveling here in February of 2022 and I just wanted to make this video to tell you everything that you need to know to get into the country. And while it is easy by COVID standpoints, meaning there's no testing you have to do to enter right now, there's no vaccination requirements, no PCR test requirements, you pretty much just have to have a passport and fill out the necessary forms. There are a lot of things that you do need to make sure you're doing before you go, and that's what I'm going to include in today's video, and additionally talk about some safety tips. I am traveling as a solo female, so I also will be including everything that I do to take extreme precautions when traveling to a new place. So yeah, let's go to Mexico. Like I said before, there are currently no COVID restrictions to enter Mexico from the US, but always check beforehand to make sure the rules haven't changed. My favorite place to find up-to-date information about COVID restrictions is on kayak.com, so definitely check that out before booking a flight. Before you get on your flight to Mexico, make sure you've booked a place to stay and a flight out of the country. Once you're on your flight into Mexico, flight attendants will usually pass out the multiple migratory form, which is also known as the Mexico tourist card. This is essentially your tourist permit that lasts for 180 days, and all international visitors must present this at customs. On this form, you'll have to put the address of your hotel or Airbnb, the length of your stay, the flight number of your return flight, and your passport number, among a few other things. I also recommend taking a screenshot of your return flight in case they ask for it at customs. That was officially the fastest customs line I've ever been in. It wasn't even a line, I just walked all the way up to the front and went right through. There was no line, so I'm feeling very lucky. I've had some very long customs lines in my life, but now it's baggage claim, so fingers crossed. As of February 2022, you do not need to apply for a tourist permit before entering the country as long as you're staying less than 180 days. We made it! So I'm about to head out of the hotel on my next flight to Puerto Escondido. It's only like an hour flight, so it'll be super nice and easy, and I'll be on the beach before noon, which is great. But quickly before I left, I wanted to talk about some safety precautions that I took as a solo female traveler before I left the States, but really this could apply to anyone traveling out of the country. So the thing that I do that gives me the most peace of mind is to register where I'm going in a program called STEP. I'll put the acronym here, I forget what it stands for, but you basically just register your trip, the dates that you're going, where you're coming from, where you're going to. You pretty much just put your entire itinerary into this program, and basically what it does is it sends it to the closest embassy near where you're staying. So for me, it sent all of my information to the Mexico City embassy, so they have all of my information. If for some reason I go off the radar and no one can get in touch with me, they know exactly where I was supposed to be, and they can kind of, you know, backtrack from there. So that is something I highly recommend doing, because it will also send you alerts to your email of any dangerous activity that's happening in an area where you might be traveling to. So whether it's crime, kidnapping, whatever, you can look on the website, you can see every region and what's been going on there, and you will also get real-time updates in your email. So the first time I did this was when I went to Peru. I tried it there, had a good experience, and I continue to do it, especially when I travel solo. In addition to that, another basic thing you should always be doing is share where you're going, your plans, with a couple people that you trust. So I sent my entire travel itinerary, my flight number, when I was supposed to land, where I'm staying, the exact name of the hotel, any sort of contact information they might need. I sent that to my parents and my boyfriend so they know exactly what's going on. So again, just keeping people in the loop. If you're gonna go on like a crazy hike and you may not have any service, I'll always let people know, hey, this is the hike I'm going on. I should be back in a few hours, you know, just letting you know. So, you know, that might seem a little bit over the top, but you never know what's gonna happen, and it's always just better for peace of mind for you and the people that you love. And then another thing I always do before I land in a new country is I will download the offline maps on Google Maps. I'll put a screen recording here of how to do that, super simple. But what this does is when you arrive at a new place, unless you already have some kind of phone plan going on, you won't have service. So make sure that you download offline maps when you're in Wi-Fi before you leave the country. That way when you get there, you can easily pull up your maps and you have it without service. Hello, Future Crosby here. I just wanted to interject really fast and let you guys know, I didn't know this until I got to Mexico, but if you're from the US and you have a Verizon or an AT&T plan, you actually will have service when you get to Mexico. The best plan to have is with AT&T. You'll actually get unlimited service here. I have Verizon, so actually how it works is you get unlimited talk and text, I believe, and then you get a half a gig extra every day. And if you go over that, then you will have to pay. It's been doable for me. I haven't gotten a SIM card since being here. I've mostly been on Wi-Fi, and when I'm not in Wi-Fi, I'm just enjoying my time. But yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, back to the video. I'm trying to think of anything else specifically that I do. Those are definitely the main things, specifically when I'm traveling. But just in general, you know, when I landed in Mexico City yesterday, I kept my big, lovely camera in my bag. I didn't flash my phone out a lot. You know, I just didn't want to draw too much attention to myself, more than I already do with my blonde hair and all of that. Oh, this is another big one. Before I leave, I have like 5 minutes. When you land in a new place, especially if you're by yourself, I always get a little bit nervous about the taxi situation, even though I can speak decent Spanish and I can easily get around. I don't know, just with all of my gear, I have a lot of expensive gear with me. I have like my entire life on my back, and I'm by myself. I don't want to be taken advantage of, and I don't want to be put into the wrong situation. So the first thing I do when I get off a plane, if I am coming to a hotel like I am here, this was about 15 minutes from the hotel. Instead of going outside and finding a cab on the street and like finagling a price, etc., I will always look for the stands that are set up in the airport themselves. Yes, they are much more expensive than they would be if you were to get one on the street, but just with all of my gear and being by myself in a new place that I've never been, it just gives me a lot of peace of mind. So yeah, I went up to the first one I saw, told them where I was going. I paid for it right away. It was 370 pesos, so instead of paying it in cash in the cab when I got there, I already paid it up front. Then they give me a little receipt here, and they also have a receipt with them, and they have the name of the cab driver. So there's a lot of accountability there that you don't get if you're just getting a random cab on the road. So not that I don't necessarily trust cab drivers, but again, you never know who you're getting into a car with. This is really helps me make sure that I'm being as safe and secure as possible, and since they work for a very professional agency and they have their name tied to me, yeah, it just makes me feel a lot better. So I definitely recommend doing that. It's usually a little bit more expensive. So like I said, it was 370 pesos, which was about $18 for like a 20-minute ride, which is definitely way overpriced, but I don't care. I felt very safe the whole time. I made friends with the cab driver, and he even offered to come pick me up this morning and take me to the airport again. But the hotel I'm staying at actually has a free shuttle. So definitely going to be taking advantage of that. All right, so bag is packed. This took me way longer to pack this morning than normal. It's always like so annoying when I have to repack my bag. It's always way easier or way harder depending on how I organize things. So yeah, this took me like 20 minutes. It was so annoying. But anyways, we are ready to go. This hotel was so much nicer than I thought it was gonna be. I just like booked one. I was like really frantically trying to get the whole trip planned. So I just booked it. It was $60 for the night. It's so incredibly nice. So yeah, $60 can get you very far in Mexico City. But yeah, may not be totally necessary, but again, I'm by myself. I'm gonna treat myself, 1, and 2, I'm gonna stay somewhere where I feel safe. So let's go to Puerto Escondido. We've officially arrived, and I've already made a friend. Hi, this is Olivia. We decided to share a cab together. We met in the airport in Mexico City. But pro tip, don't come here without cash, because we made an error. Yeah, we did. We did make an error. So we're in a cab now, but he's taking us to a bank because there's only one ATM at this airport. It's teeny, and it wasn't working. So we didn't have any cash to pay for cabs. It's usually like 30 to 40 pesos to get to where we're going, and now we're gonna pay like 200. It's fine.
Ouch. We'll just forget about it. It's okay.
Yeah. So just FYI, get cash before you come. A big welcome from Puerto Escondido, specifically Casa Los Odeli, where I have been spending all of my time living, working, all the things, making friends. It has been amazing. Also, I apologize for the noise. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I really hope that you found this video helpful for if you're planning a trip to Mexico anytime soon. And if you want to come to Puerto Escondido, which is in the southwest region in Oaxaca of Mexico, I'm in love with it, and I have a bunch of really cool videos coming out. One is a digital nomad guide to Puerto Escondido, and the second is what I spend in a week. So it kind of will give you a good idea of what the cost of living is here. So make sure you subscribe to see those videos and lots of future adventures. Like this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps me out and supports me, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!